So the times they are a changing for the Minnesota Fighting Vikings. Lots of players leaving. There's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of leadership change on this team, especially on the defense. But the only thing constant is change. The only thing that never changes is change, something like that. And even though the Vikings are having a lot of roster turnover, there is a lot of opportunity for players to step up, especially the young guys. So here are 5 potential breakout stars for the Vikings in 2020. Let's dive into the list right away. So numero uno, Drew SAMIA. We talked about after Josh Klein was cut, one of the reasons why he potentially could have been let go so quickly is because Drew SAMIA is ready to rise. That's right. And I was thinking about it. And the entire time last year, I was banging the drums, like, replace Elflein with Drew SAMIA. And when Elflein was injured, it was like, oh, Dakota Dozier, replace Dakota Dozier with Drew SAMIA one time, please. But then if you think about it, right, playing the different side of guards, left guard, right guard, it's not quite as disparate as left tackle, right tackle, but it still is certainly a change. I mean, your footwork is all backwards, etc. Different skill sets are required for different guard spots. And we've already been through the Brandon Fusco flip-flopping back and forth. Doesn't really work out. Like, not everyone can be Joe Berger. Joe Berger. I miss Joe Berger. But Drew SAMIA, I played right guard his final 2 years at Oklahoma. Only played right guard at training camp as well as preseason as well as the regular season snaps that he had. So he was the right guard in waiting. Now that Josh Klein is potentially out, I mean the coaching staff, Rick Dennison, Gary Kubiak, Mike Zimmer, they know what they have in Drew SAMIA. I think they're ready to let the nasty boy play. Let's go. Drew SAMIA, numero uno. Next up, number 2. So KRIS Boyd, 7th round pick, came in as a cornerback out of Texas, former teammate with Holton Hill there. Actually could put Holton Hill on there, especially the new CBA allowing the weed, even though his grandfather didn't. But KRIS Boyd, looking back at some of the draft projections, a lot of people thought that KRIS Boyd probably be an early day 3 pick, maybe round 5, etc. But Boyd came in preseason, looked pretty good. Eventually made the 53-man roster, saw some limited action, played 99 snaps on defense. And overall, I like his game. I think he certainly could be a candidate to move into the safety spot. And depending what happens with Anthony Harris, Vikings could have major needs at cornerback and safety, as well as missing Jaron Kearse. Now, KRIS Boyd isn't the type of physical player that Jaron Kearse is, but I think he is a little bit better in coverage and filling that need between the hybrid cornerback, slot guy, safety. I think that certainly could be filled, and KRIS Boyd could be that guy. Plus, I mean, just straight up cornerback. I mean, Mike Hughes come back from injury, Holton Hill, who really knows, and you're going to have a couple of rookies in there, so why not KRIS Boyd stepping up in year 2? Next up, speaking of 7th round pick stepping up in year 2, OLABISI Johnson, our guy, BC Brigade. Last year, filling in as wide receiver 3/2, put up 31 catches, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns on 45 targets. With Diggs gone, BC is like the obvious choice to be stepping up into the wide receiver 2 role. Now, does he necessarily bring enough to the table to do so? I think it's TBD, but I know that the kid has got a great work ethic, very humble, just going to get after it. I really like his game. I think he's a very polished route runner, even for such a young guy, even for such a late draft pick. And I think another year in the pro system, maybe he can become the new Adam Thielen BFF. It would be great. So him being able to generate a little bit something on the outside, as well as adding rookie TBDs, maybe a free agent or two in from the wide receivers, and feeling to work from the slot. I think it's going to be big. I think OLABISI Johnson has a chance to snap out in 2020. Speaking of receivers who also need to step up, numero 4, Irv Smith Jr., who's a tight end, sort of in name only, even though his inline blocking was a hell of a lot better than I suspected. So last year's 2nd round pick. Not really a surprise pick, certainly a BPA pick, the fact that he fell to the Vikings in the 2nd round. Last year he had 36 catches, 311 yards, 2 touchdowns on 47 targets, and also going forward, the Vikings use a lot of 2 tight end sets. They're going to be on the field a lot, 84 and 82, as well as a presence in the slot, which we saw in spurts of time last year. We'll love to see a little bit more of it. He was dynamite in the slot working with Tua at Alabama. He was just a yards after catch monster in the middle of the field. So I'd love to see a lot more than that. Also, I mean, even though respect, Rudy earning his money last year, really had a nice year. Not monster statistically, but in terms of leadership, getting that passing game out of the lurch, as well as making big time plays in big time spots. It was awesome. But also, I think Rudy's better days are behind him. So year 2 could see a descendancy of number 84, Irv Smith Jr. Lastly, number 5. I love this guy. Numero 5, ARMON for Watts. Right. 4 pressures, 2 sacks last year, and only 121 snaps. Didn't play until week 10 against Dallas. Didn't play in the playoffs, which is, for a team that was completely lacking just an attitude on the inside, both in stopping the run as well as generating interior pass rush. The fact that Armon Watts didn't get more run, a little bit annoyed by that. But also, you look at Armon Watts' college career, he's used to getting disrespected, right? So I'm expecting a lot in year 2 on number 96. And also, we talked about the Vikings potentially flexing the fronts, going from 4-3, maybe 3-4, probably a hybrid of both. But also, you look at it, Armon Watts could play every single defensive line position in a 4-3 or a 3-4. That adds a ton of value, as well as he can generate pressure from both of those spots, whether it's nose tackle, 1 tech, 0 tech, 3 tech, 5 tech, all the techs. All of the techs. Do that up. Armon Watts is our number 5 pick for Breakout Star in 2020. Those are our 5. Who are yours? There's a couple of other ones that we didn't really mention. You can let us know in the comment section below. Love to hear from you guys. Love you, Jerome's. As we crank out another week of content. Quarantine was a day 12 now. Go a little stir crazy. Just eating all the hot dogs. That's what we do. But subscribe, come along for daily Vikings takes, as well as you want to support the work. Toss a little something in Venmo or click that join button down below. Find out how you can become a monthly or platinum Jerome, or down below, friends at Teespring. Get the Vike Flair mug. You know what to do. There you go. Focus. Yeah. And give us a follow on social media as well. Until next time. Skol. Production value.